And you know, we definitely would have rather had the two in the cup this game, I think, because
I
Evelyn behind was not doing anything for anyone.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And I did. But yeah, we'll have to see, what they do. I think literally if they put Neo on any more standard champion, it should be pretty easy. We do see the Ivern band away from him immediately. And that's not too surprising, the Zac response. We haven't seen Zac played in Japan yet simply because it's been banned every game. And I think the only game we've seen was once in Korea where it just absolutely dominated the game.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see it today either. But like I was saying, I think it's cool. You want to force that red side in it because you can kind of just uh like basically play chicken with it as if you're on the blue side. And saying I think that they're going to really focus Neo. The Shen ban, we've seen a lot of Shen. I'm interested. Like
It is
Shane's not
Japan.
even.
He is a ninja.
Oh, you're right. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, but that means they would need to ban Zed. We have seen a lot of Kennen bans.
It's true.
It
It's
is
true.
kind of coming full circle here.
Yeah, and Kennen has not yet been banned. We've seen it banned in every game so far. This could be the first time that they do choose to let it through. Ayamama had a solid game on the Galio last time, but he's not had the greatest success on many of the carry top laners, so I wouldn't be surprised if they did choose to let it through, and they do. They're gonna ban out that Tom Kench. Not really happy with the.
Do you think we're gonna see the the Kennen here?
I I don't think we'll see it from Atyamomo. If we do see it from anyone, I think it'll be from Oppamen. I really would be expecting something like a Lee Sin first pick here, considering how fantastically Wyvern played on in that last game, and just how strong of a pick it is overall. It's so safe. But they
Does
are going to
Neo
pick
play
up
that
the
champion
Thresh.
as well?
Yeah, Neo does play that champion quite proficiently, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something. If we do see a Kennen, it's probably going to be picked in the next two picks here, so um, they are going to hover that Zyra, and they're probably going to pick up their jungler as well. Giving Rascal Jester the first pick on that, as well as picking up the Thresh, is an interesting choice, and there is Neo's Lee Sin coming out. So hopefully we'll get to see him get a little bit of revenge, and that's what happens after you get Lee Sin. You pick Elise next, because they're
Yep.
the,
You just
you
go
know,
down the list.
go down the list of what junglers to play, and we're going to see a very similar composition coming out. Actually, I think those are the three same champions we saw in the bot lane. Just slightly mixed order, but we're not going to see the Tom Kench. We're probably going to see they were hovering Zyra earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the exact same thing. That's what they're
Yep.
hovering. They're probably going to be locking it in.
Yeah, if it's not the Zyra, yeah. Otherwise, I could see it being like the or something like. It is going to be Zyra in the end. It means they are saving those solo lanes for last pick. Both sides.
Which is not too surprising, but it does mean that there are going to be extra bans, and already we see three bans already directed to the solo lanes. Well, we're going to see four more. There's the Fiora band away from Ayamomo. Interesting decision. We did see it played very well by Paz earlier, but Ayamomo is not Paz. Um,
Yeah, he's not even much of a carry top lane.
he's mostly played tanks so far last season, and we do see Fiora and Jace both banned out. Like with this trend, we'll probably see something like LeBlanc banned as well, simply because of how obnoxious it is to deal with that champion, and we'll probably end up having some pretty standard lanes. I wouldn't be surprised if Unsold stuff picked something like a Fizz. They really Unsold ban. I do
Oh, they
like
really
that.
in Soul.
Lavia had a lot of pressure, even if he didn't actually succeed with any of the gangs. It is something that you do have to respect as not really being something in your mind's champion pool. And the
Yeah,
gas
he
is
may not have
also
got,
banned as
like you
well.
said, he may not have gotten any kills, but I think he still showed some proficiency.
Yeah, he
Make
was
you be
he was threatening
careful.
the entire time, even if he didn't, solidify anything. And the
A
Jarvan pickup is going to
Jarvan?
be going over for Optimum. That's not something we really see in the mid lane, though it is a potential flex as more of an assassin style, but definitely something we expect to see played by Optimum, and that does give remind the counter pick.
How would Jarvan be against the LeBlanc if the LeBlanc be picked up?
It'd be interesting. That's not a matchup I think I've seen in probably over a season. It's just you don't see Jarvan in the mid lane very often, but you do just LeBlanc goes in, you EQ in the line, hit both LeBlanc and where she can go back to, and then you just dunk it. So potentially very well, but with the Hextech
But it's going to
Gunblade
be
build,
the Anivia,
it is indeed, and there is the LeBlanc being hovered. That would be something that would be good for Remind to pick up.
especially against this Anivia. I think that I didn't know that Froggen moved to Japan.
Yeah, he also changed his name as well. He wasn't satisfied with the play on Echo Fox, which I'm sure by now everybody has seen all the news about the exciting Echo Fox Challenger roster that we'll be getting next season.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to watch it. I'm The Anivia pickup is so curious for me. I don't this like I just don't. There's so much dive. They picked it into the Jarvan. There's so much dive onto this Anivia,
Hmm.
and there's not a whole lot of
It
Rascal Jesters.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Neither team, well, or rather, Rascal Jester does not have the greatest engage opportunities. They have a couple of good pick tools in Anivia's stun, Elise's stun, and then Gragas is really the only way for them to really get something started. The Corrupting Chain would also be something, but it's just they have like all these secondary engage tools, which sometimes enough, but it's there's a very clear go button on the side of Unsold stuff. You literally see something, Jarvan's like, all right, I'm going. All right, I'm in. All right, I'm helping.
I'm helping, and then you just scream it louder and louder.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm helping, guys. I'm helping. But yeah, Jarvan mixed with Orianna, great ball delivery system. You do have a great combo set up with the Jarvan, Orianna, Zyra. Ashe and Lee Sin got some good pick potential as well. So overall, I do like Unsold Stuff's um, draft a little bit better than Rascal Jester, but again, both these compositions are fairly well rounded, and I'd really like to. I think we're really gonna see what happens when you give Lee Sin to Neo as opposed to Wyvern, and if Neo has a game like he did last time, we're gonna see another win go over to Rascal Jester almost assuredly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Hell yeah! But there we go, getting all the little things going in. We're gonna be running down the lanes in just a moment. That Anivia pick opting to start with the Corrupting Potion here in game two, and again, only Doran Shields on the ADCs.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, these people are just absurd. They don't know how to spell.
Yeah, it's interesting that how the meta is evolving in different places. It's a it's definitely a more defensive option, and we that's part of why we see it so much in places like Korea. I think is they just they aren't willing to
They're
give up
not
that early
allowed to
advantage.
die.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they get lashings if they die in Korea.
But Zyra's interesting in how it changes the way that teams play level ones, because the passive she got, where she just spawns plants everywhere around her every couple of seconds, means that she likes to go down to the bot lane to just get as many of those eggs onto the ground as possible so that she can get a stronger lane presence going forward. And that means there's a little bit less standing in the river for the rest of the team.
Yeah, we do see the kawaii dragon egg skin coming out too. That is a pretty solid choice.
Hmm.
Muay Thai Lee Sin is also
Ooh,
pretty high up there on the skins. Oh yeah,
that's
that hurt
actually
a lot too.
That's actually quite big. That's setting Neo a good deal behind because normally you're supposed to get level 2 off of killing all the small rappers, and you almost stole one, which meant that Neo took a lot more damage from that camp than he would have expected to otherwise, and that could give Wyvern the advantage he needs to really enforce his will upon the game once again.
Right. Now I'm assuming that Elise kind of falls the game goes on like she used to, or have they made some changes to her?
Depends on what build it is he chooses to go. Tank Elise never really falls off, but she does have options. She can go the more aggressive Leandre's Protobell Elise and just be a second assassin, very similar to Evelyn actually in what she provides for the team. But uh, it's a very different school of thought. We tend to see the more aggressive AP Elise, but we definitely know that last season, what was it? Not Paz, Tussle and Neo were definitely favoring the more tank style of Elise.
right? I hate Jarvan in lane because he just like autos you, and then you like auto crits you, and then you're
Yeah,
sad and you lose.
it's pretty strong. It's pretty strong, and that's why they pick it. It's one of those things like, a Jarvan behind is worth two in the cop once again, but it's I just can't believe you said that. It's just like what? But
Dude, in my defense, I've been up for like 4 hours, and
yeah, it's
I
pretty
don't even
great.
think I
Oh,
would
Wyvern's
beat.
already here. Lands a stun down onto Heretti, getting some good chunk onto him, but not much more than that. Gonna force him to use that potion at the door and shield, doing some good things. And he's like, "All right, guys, round two, let's go again."
Yeah, they'll never expect the second one.
Nice. That was a good ward over that wall.
Yeah,
That's what happens when you're a pro support player. You spend time getting those wards perfect.
yeah. If you're a really good support like me, you just don't even buy the war in the first place. If you don't buy the war, then you
Can't
can't
miss them.
mess it up.
Yeah.
So I actually go scrying orb when I start as a support. That's what real pros do.
Yeah. I don't take a trinket until I'm level 9 either.
What
It's
is what is it called when it's the low level one? I've never seen anyone buy it.
Oh, you can't. You actually can't now. You have to start. You can get either the yellow one or the non-upgraded red one at
Mhm.
level ones. Those are really your only options. Um, the red one is actually we do see a couple cool things because if you do kill a ward, wards do give experience, and if you get the solo experience on a ward in a solo lane, it actually means that you will get level 2 off of the first wave of creeps. So we have
Okay.
seen we have seen the red starts be real options, especially for top laners where that level 2 advantage means so much.
Oh, and the hook comes out and lands. That's just a nice trade for both sides. Auto attack from Zyra does a ton of damage, and you get the QE combo from Frog and Junior here.
Is he running a Stormraider Surge again? It looked like it. He ran really fast after hitting that QE combo.
I think he might be.
It's cool. It's a really interesting option. I know most of the Nivea players I see in solo queue tend to run with the Deathfire touch, which makes sense. Just
Full
extra
strength
damage.
attack.
Hell yeah. But I do like the idea of the Storm Raider Surge, especially with how much damage that he really, does to your opponents. Oh man, that's going in really early, popping the egg. He's not really going to be able to do a whole lot more since he is under turret, but that does give a lot more opportunities for Neo to come in very soon.
Yeah, it's actually it's a pretty big deal. I think it sucks that there's not like a second passive for just the egg, so you know like exactly when it comes back up.
hmm
Rito, please.
I'm pretty sure you can
Uh,
still click on them and it'll show you.
yeah, you can. There'll be a debuff. I
Yeah.
mean, for us.
Ah, yeah. That would be nice. But we are seeing a small difference from the first game. This is not a game that Heretti has a lead over his opponent yet. This is actually something that Noah is, starting to build up a lead. 10 CS at the 6-minute mark. Wyvern is in a dangerous spot. They get the resonating strike on him, misses the stun, lots of damage, no red buff, so he should be alright. Does get the ward hop. One more Q, does just flash forward and get it. And he also flashed, not able to get anything from that. And Neo's now in an odd spot, but chooses to go right in onto Lavi. He doesn't have the egg, and that ignite will be an easy pickup for the duo. Duo support jungle right there.
I'm liking it.
I'm
That
liking
yeah,
it.
pumps the
Neo's
egg.
showing, is it Lee Sin or is it the players? Lee Sin's definitely good, and there's a reason why you tend to see it picked up in the first round of picks for both teams.
Yeah, I think this is just a good reason for us to. We need to just nerf Sin into the ground. Pretty sure
Hmm.
that's actually happened a lot. Like people just don't care. Like just think, like Lee Sin's barely ever buffed. He's just always nerfed, and yet he's still always good. It's just like a
Yeah.
testament to like how good Lee Sin is. He could literally like heal the enemy champion, still get picked.
Yeah, it's a lot of the pro players really like him because of how what do you call it? How well he can choose what fights he wants to take. You hit the Q, and even though solo queue tells us you have to follow it every time, you do have the choice not to, even though most of
Good
the time
one.
you do take it anyway. But he has that. He can choose to ward hop in. He can choose to ward hop out. He has the Dragon's Rage. Is like, no, I don't want to take this fight, but it's also a great tool to get a fight started. Now we see Lavi heading up towards the top lane. Opperman not really building up a lead right now, just gonna escape from any potential pressure, not committing the explosive cast, and so just some wasted time by Lavi once again.
Man, we have. And there's actually a lot of CC here from Rascal Jesters. You have pretty much everyone has some form of CC.
Yeah.
Especially if you get hit by this Varus ultimate, you're pretty
Uh-oh.
sure you're just gonna die.
Opperman's in a bad spot. Explosive Cask was committed. He does still have his flash available, and Lavi is already heading towards
Yeah, this
the
is
mid
just gonna
lane
be a
once
trade.
again.
He is gonna be forced to back after this wave.
Yeah, and he doesn't have teleport again, so it could potentially be a good spot for Atyamoma. They're basically even in CS, but Jarvan's the kind of character who you really want to snowball, and I'd like to see a little bit more attention from Neo, especially. Oop. All right, that would hit. That would have hit.
Yeah, they do force out the flash, and that would have. I don't think that would have killed. I don't know if it's necessarily worth the. I mean, I guess it's kind of just what you have to do to to stay in lane, but at the
Hmm.
same time, like now, I think that we'll see Neo really focus the spot side,
Yeah,
even though like Jarvan just desperately needs help.
yeah, and I think the flash was a couple of things. One, they did know the ignite from NT was coming up soon. It's not quite up yet, but he could have used the ignite, but they also didn't know where Neo was. And if Neo was there to follow it up, that would have been really big and probably turned into a kill. Right
Right.
now, Opperman's coming back top. Wyvern is here. If he does finish the back, he does. So he should be able to, clean up all this farm. Neo's going to spend, like you said, probably a lot more time here in the bottom half of the jungle, try and get Remind further ahead, as well as shore up the current deficit that Heredia and NT are facing against Noah.
So we got. I'm surprised that the CS is still actually par in this top lane, despite the wave that that Opperman missed.
Yeah, that's what happens. Jarvan can see us pretty well with you call it the auto grip passive, but the 10% max health bonus damage on the first auto attack on every target helps him out a lot, so he's able to pick up most of it. Um, but it's just a lane that's going to go even until there is a major misplay by one of them, or there gets a little bit of jungle attention. And so far, neither Wyvern nor Neo have really gone up to the top side, except for the time when Wyvern went up and immediately back instead of trying to force Opperman out again.
Right. Yeah, there actually hasn't been a whole lot of lane pressure pretty much anywhere aside from that one time when Neo went mid.
Yeah, yeah, and we do see they're currently even in farm. Uh, yeah, there's not a whole lot. The most of this gold is coming in from those two kills, the first blood, and the assist that they picked up off of that. As they're just kind of waiting around to just really see what happens. They do pick up, or USG did pick up the Mountain Drake not that long ago, so they will have a little bit of a bonus in terms of finalizing these kills on these turrets. But it looks like we are spoiling for a fight. There are teleports available for all three members that have them. Neo and Wyvern are already here, and this pink ward's going to be a big spot. Yuki gets caught out by the resonating strike, but a lot of damage coming in. Both the teleports coming in. Neo goes down already.
Down
Yuki's
goes in.
trading
This Thresh is
immediately.
gonna go down.
Here comes
Both teleports
Opperman.
come in at the exact same time.
Yeah, Haredi is already taken down, but they're gonna have to continue going. Noah looks to
That's
be
a
the
great
next one to go
flash.
down. They do finally pick him up, but Enti and Remind are not in a good spot right now. Enti does finally go down to Lavi, and it's currently 4-4 in kills, but that trade was definitely in favor of Rascal Jesters.
Yeah, for sure. I think Rascal Jester just has a nightmare of an end. There's just Anivia is just so hard to deal with, and yeah, you kind of have the Jarvan to go in, but this Jarvan and this Lee Sin are just on a clock. Like this Jarvan is not going to be impactful past 30 minutes into this game.
Yeah, and he's not even snowballing. He doesn't even have a lead right now. We'd see the Iceborne Gauntlet coming out, but looking again at what's going on, Neo comes in, lands the Resonating Strike, gets started, but gets stunned up so much, and he, after using those abilities, doesn't even get his ultimate off. Remind comes down, but Haredi is in such a bad spot relative to Lavi and Atimomo, and instantly goes down. Opperman is just trying to get everything back, and Atimomo keeping everyone away with the explosive cask is just really good, and Andy has nowhere to run after that. Remind never got in a good position to fight, and overall the double TP really helping out a lot, just getting Lavi there a little bit faster than Remind and saving the team.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see Lavi just like really try to push out this mid. Right now you see Remind really trying to push him in to kind of keep him at bay,
Hmm.
but I think Lavi's just more than happy to, sit mid and just try to keep farming up. He is down like 3 CS, but
Yeah, and here we see the Rift Herald being started up proactively for possibly the first time this series. Neo is there, and it's already so low. We're starting to get into real 50-50 smite ranges. Does go over to Neo, but he does need to pick up the buff. Opperman's in a poor spot, and Wyvern's going to puppy guard it. Neo does pick it up and backs out, and that is a good win for USG, but they need to be able to do something with it rather than just, hey, we got it.
hooray!
Yay!
What does it matter if you actually smite it? It just matters who picks up the buff.
This might there is a little bit of gold off of it. I think it's like 50 gold to whoever actually gets the final kill on it. So, there is the gold there, but only the team that kills the Rift Herald can pick up the buff.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
so
shows I know.
so if you do manage to get the smite down, the opponents can still prevent you from picking it up, and that's what Wyvern was trying to do there, by potentially killing Neo. Didn't manage to do so, but there is still play after one team actually secures the kill on the target. Zzz. Drone warfare, dude. Does spot out Wyvern on the way through, as well as Lavi over in the top half of the jungle. Gets them some good information, and now Neo, spotted out by this ward bee, is probably going to bring down the Rift Herald in order to secure this first turret of the game. Yeah, and there it is. Meditation. But there's another fight coming up. Your Mind is caught out here. He does not have his flash. Already blows his cleanse. And there comes the death sentence. Getting a flay onto your Mind as well. The downvote does come in. Does hit NT as well. They do end up trading 1 for 2. Or 1 for 3, excuse me. But they do get their first turret gold. And now Live is in a good
We're
spot. He
not
has the
done
blue
yet.
buff. And
Haredi needs to go. Here we're gonna see the ice wall come.
yeah, good
He's
play by
just baiting.
Lavi.
Yeah.
By
You just
wait.
see, and that's the trick. You just wait forever. They're gonna eventually they're just gonna break. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like,
Yeah.
no, I gotta dodge.
Yeah, and if you just wait until you're point blank and they still manage to dodge, well, that says more about you than anything about your opponent.
You know what they say? An Anivia in a bad Anivia is worth 2 in the cup, man. You know?
Yeah, dude, same. But yeah, Remind gets caught out here, does show a little bit, doesn't realize he had stepped over ward earlier, and the cleanse is not going to be enough to get him out. NT getting caught here by the death sentence is really what turns around the fight into something that's more or less unwinnable. Neo's just trying to get a little bit back. They do get, like I said, they do get the first turret, which gives them pretty even in gold overall, but it is split up amongst all the members rather than focused on the three potential carries. You know, there's 2 kills on Wyvern, 2 kills on Lobby, and 2 kills on Noah, and that's exactly who you want to be having the extra gold as you start getting into these dragon fights.
Yeah, we do have a lot of focus on like a battle for vision over this Infernal Drake. We see Neo is just thirsty for these wards. He just wants it so bad, and I think I mean, he still can't really get it. I think Wyvern's going to end up getting to clear these wards. Oh, I guess they're just going to start it. We do
Yeah,
have Oppamen up towards the blue
yeah. Ooh,
buff.
Neo
He
goes
is
in,
walking
gets
down.
the flash out of Lobby, kicks him back. The shockwave is going to come out in just a moment, I'm sure, but no, he's
They're
going
going
to
to
be
pop the
egg.
egg.
Corrupting Change is on to Neo. He does end up trading his life there for Lobby. Otman was on the wrong side of the wall, but the explosive cask is going to be in a good spot to prevent everyone from doing anything further. And a
Everyone on the
one,
USG
yeah.
is kind of softened up a little bit. I think that this dragon should be easy for Rascal Gestures to get. Oh, but I guess that they'll lose the mid turret if they decide to make that trade.
Yeah,
And I don't think that's
Oppaman
a
still
trade that
has
they
his
want to make.
ultimate. Oh, there he goes. They still have the shockwave available. Wyvern's in a bad spot, is hit by the cataclysm, is not going to be able to jump onto the other side, does finally go down to remind. Shockwave lands onto Noah as well, and that's going to be a double
Oh, and
kill
just
going in. Oppaman tries
obliterates
to
them.
get one more, and the triple kill going over to remind. That's a lot of gold onto an Orion. That's not where you want it, and they are going to try and finalize this turret. But here comes a teleport from Lobby. He's going to try and do something about it. Does get some good damage onto Oppaman. Could get one more, but
Oh, wow.
and
He's just
Unsold
scared.
Stuff's just gonna head over to the dragon. Neo's back up. They have the plans to take it for them, tank it for them, and it should be an easy secure 2 dragons in favor of USG as
That,
well as all of the structure advantage.
right. That's a pretty easy gold swing for USG where they just got a free turret. They got what 4 kills,
Mm-hmm.
and they got the Infernal Drake. So now they have a Mountain Drake and an Infernal. Just kind of, we've seen a pretty big pattern. I don't know if it's necessarily correlation or causation, but with these Drakes and the winning teams, the team with the most Drakes has every single game so far tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see again, Reminds making some interesting choices with his builds, going for the Rabadons again on Oriana. He went the same thing on Syndra in the previous game, and Rabadons will always be a solid AP item, but right now, the logic for most of the community or most of the meta is saying you pick up your Merlin Omicron and then you go Ludens or Leandries for the most efficient damage build at this point in the game. And Rabadons will provide more and more the later you go, especially stacking with the Infernal Drake, but right now
But
it's
not right now.
a little bit of an odd choice so earlier in the game by reminding it's for
You're
a
just a little
talented player. Yeah.
overzealous.
He's a talented player, but just kind of like Doublelift, who's always had some interesting choices and some interesting ideas on how like builds go. It's I'm seeing a similar thing coming out here from Remind right now.
This is something that he does quite regularly.
Doublelift or Remind?
Remind.
Yeah, a little bit. He did not quite have. Stun goes down onto Enti. Lots of damage going out, forced by the wall, and that's probably going to be a dead Zyra. That is indeed.
Great
Neo already
wall.
uses his movement to get in, and Remind is just going to have to try and force everyone to stay away. Lavi is still wants more, and with so many members of Rascal Jesters here, the explosive cast comes out, forces Remind the wrong way, is forced to flash in order to survive there. But yeah, good
That was a great
collapse
flash.
overall.
Forces the flash, like you said, and they should be able to get this free mid turret.
They don't really have a wave
Yeah, I
right
guess
now.
yeah.
Downvote misses
The
again.
downvote misses.
Ah,
Oh
man.
wow, that's a good wall. Jarvan is blocked, but no one's really doing much of anything. They're just kind of them be. He's kind of just like against the wall. He's like, please, 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 please.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough spot overall for the team. There is more gold. Uh-oh. Is that NT again? No, this time it's Remind, and there's a lot of damage going on to him. Good wall. Shockwave
That's a lot of
does not
damage.
go off, and it is a bad spot. Wyvern does end up trading his life. Baron is available, but they're definitely not in a good spot to do it right now. Good damage going down onto Opperman, and no waves really pushing in favor of Unsold Stuffed at the moment. We do see a
Ayamomo's ult's just about to come back up too, so they might be looking for a pick when all is said and done. But it actually looks like Rascal Gestures is going to back, and they're to give up some map pressure as a result.
yeah, and Aoyama heads down here, picks up some experience, and pushes in, pushes in the wave a little bit, and that's a large wave that is going to go over to Opperman. Not gonna let it hit the turret, and that's what we really need to see is a little bit more wave management skill from the Japanese teams as well. They usually don't have these waves set up as pristinely as you might expect from, especially their neighbors in Korea.
Right? It looks like you know this Gragas isn't worried at all about the Jarvan at this point. Jarvan did not get big enough fast enough, and Gragas is just a big tanky fat man now, and he's just gonna have a jolly old time smacking whatever he feels like.
Yeah, absolutely. He's just he's got the Iceborne Gauntlet, he's got an extra chain vest, probably gonna build towards a Knight's Vow, I'd imagine, for Noah. That's really popular for the top laners here in Japan. And he's just slowly starting to hit. Ooh, Cataclysm does stop the body
Oh,
slam. Does force the flash, actually. That was really well done by
it's great.
Opperman. But right now, Heredi and Noah are continuing to bash heads here in the top half of the map. And again, we're starting to spoil for a fight as everybody is coming to the same spot. Once again, as they start going for the few structures that are available. And so many arrows missing today.
Yeah, yeah, right. Especially in these games, I'm not very impressed with the Ash plays we've
Ooh,
seen.
Opperman's gonna teleport here. He doesn't have his ult. What is it? Neo goes in, kicks the wrong direction as Lavi goes the other way. But here's Aoyama in the back. He's taking up all 5 members. It take him a long time. The shockwave only lands onto Lavi, but that should be enough. Ooh, does egg him. There is going to be another opportunity for them to continue going forward. Opperman does
Yeah,
not have
he's
the
just as
ultimate,
good as
but
dead.
yeah, they're gonna scramble that egg, and Wyvern is still under attack from Opperman. They want to get a little bit more before they start turning towards this Baron. Wyvern is low, and that does give them an easy turn opportunity, and they should be going for this Baron with the Mountain Drake and the Infernal Drake, giving them the extra damage that they need in order to really pound this down. Wyvern's not going to have an easy way in. He's going to have to go for the 50-50 around the back, but they will see him, and they will have plenty of options. They do secure it for themselves, and they're going to have to turn tail and run before they give up too much more.
Yeah, we do see the stun. It's not really going to mean a whole lot. I think this there is like a bit of a wave top lane, but they're all just going to back. They're going to sacrifice that wave. There's not really anything, really a whole lot they can get done right now with this Baron.
Yeah, and here we see the teleports coming in again right next to each other, kicking the wrong way, but Gragas ends up in a very bad spot. The ultimate coming out of Zyreg doing a great job of zoning off the rest of the team, and there's just not a whole lot anyone can do, even with the explosive cask doing a little bit to split things up, and just the last long range auto attacks coming out of Heredi going to be enough to secure them this Baron and really just force the rest of Rascal Jesters away. And right now, we do have another dragon coming up as well. This one's going to be an Ocean Drake, which is actually my favorite of all the dragons in terms of what kind of power it gives. It gives you a lot of sustain on both your mana and your health, so it's a lot easier to siege. And while it's not necessarily the most important thing for Unsold Stuff's playstyle or the builds that they're going for right now, it is definitely something you want to keep off of Anivia, because Anivia is largely gated only by her mana pool in terms of sustaining against the rest of the wave clear.
Right. I think I'm kind of interested to see these. We are going to see this AP build come out from this Elise, like you were talking about earlier, which means that she is going to fall later on in the game. But as for right now, she's I'm surprised that Q miss. That wasn't very
Yeah. Not even that much damage being done to Lee Sin right now, but he does have both the Hex Drinker and the Locket of the Iron Solari finished already. Good damage getting put out back and forth, but not a whole lot coming with it. We're mostly waiting on these Baron buffs to move around the map. Oppaman's finally starting to get the better of Ayumomo, taking him down a good chunk. Does have his ultimate available again and his flash as an advantage, but he is going to start having to hit this
Yeah, he
turret.
does trade right back, and his Gragas is going to have to. Gragas is going to have to leave the turret, and that should be a turret for USG.
Yeah, indeed it is. He is going to back away. That is gold going into the rest of Unsold stuff. And that is a second one. They're probably going to back off, pick up this dragon in just a moment, and that should give them what they need to really push forward and start cracking these inhibitor turrets. Unfortunately, we'll probably see them wait again for another Baron, because that's what Japan does. But right now, Banshee's Veil is being picked up by Remind. That was one of the items that was changed. So we see the double Abyssal Scepter coming in from Yamomo and Wyvern simply because it's a good tank item now. It increases the amount of damage both of them do, as well as reduces the amount of magic damage they're taking. But the Banshee's Veil is really good against Anivia's stun, Elisa's stun, and a potential explosive cast. So you do have to poke it down with something like Varus' Piercing Arrow before you start really going for those hard engages against this carry.
We do see that gargoyle vest chainmail armor thing as well. That's actually one of my favorite items, especially on like Jarvan, that is just going in.
Yeah.
That's going to give him a lot of survivability when he cataclysms into the enemy team.
Yeah, because he's
It's
already
going to
used
be
most
much
of his
needed.
burst at that point. It doesn't matter if you have reduced damage if you're not doing a whole lot of damage in the first place.
Yeah. So I do like that pickup. I'm curious to see where he goes from here. Is he going to continue to build tank, or is he going to build another tank item, or is he going to keep going damage to kind of build onto that burst damage?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like a Guardian's Angel, somewhere a little bit of a hybrid kind of thing.
Hmm.
But at this point in the game, it's the rest of Jarvan's build is not particularly interesting. He just mostly wants to get more ball of stats.
Right.
Um, but yeah, we are seeing a lot of item breakpoints coming out. Right now, the ADCs Noah and Hereti are very similar in terms of their build. The only real difference between the two being the Quicksilver Sash built up by Hereti, which makes a lot of sense considering how many stuns and how much lockup is available to Rascal Jester.
Right. And there is actually a huge CS lead on the side of US lanes. You see about a 40 CS lead in the top lane, 3 CS lane, or actually 40 CS lane in the mid, and even 20 in the bot. And they kind of, that with how many turrets they have, they're 6 turrets to 0. That does equate to a lot of gold. They are 10,000 gold over their opponent. If Rascal Jesters can pick up some turrets, there's a lot of floating gold here for them to catch them back up into the game, but they have to get some picks and actually push down some turrets in order to do that. That mid turret is really low, keep in mind. Earlier, and so I think that top lane is too. So they do still have chances to come back, but they are slimming down as like this Elise falls off.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're only going to see Zyra start to become, the third or fourth carry that the team really wants. We're all used to seeing a Zyra support top the damage chart simply because they're doing exactly what Anti's doing here, going Rylai's into Leandre's and just kind of like, heh, 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 look at all my damage. But we do see the next Baron coming up in about a minute here. That should go over to Unsold stuff with the amount of damage they're consistently doing at this point. We're going to see a back cycle coming out from them, I'm sure, in just a moment. Hit the item breakpoints they'd like to. Void Staff coming out for a Remind. We're going to see probably a Phantom Dancer finished up for Hereti in just a moment as well. And they'll just be doing, all the damage they need to in order to really, push down these objectives really quickly.
Yeah, right on. They're just so in the enemy's jungle. They're just taking all their camps. They're in their
Ooh.
base, stealing their stuff. Really good. That is a good flash, but now he doesn't have it for the future. That means that it's gonna be really easy for Neo to get in and insect him.
Yeah, indeed it will. And now we do see Unsold Stuff starting to maneuver around the Baron. They do know that Lavi does not have a flash available to him, so I wouldn't be surprised if they just choose to start it here in the moment. Get the top wave pushing and clear a little bit of vision, and then just do it. Of course, that wouldn't be Japanese though.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, if it, that's the thing is they kind of have to just go because if he dies here, they're going to lose not just only the Baron, but they're going to lose an inhibitor at that. And I mean, but at the same time, if they give up the Baron, do they lose the inhibitor anyways?
Hmm.
Like all their lanes are pushed in right now, and they really need to figure out a way to manage their waves and not give up this Baron. But it doesn't look like there's just too much pressure, too much money on the side of USG in order for them to do that.
Yeah, they are going to start. They don't clear this ward actually in the pit, so we are going to see Rascal Jester come in to attempt to contest, but they have to push in through. Ooh, both a Jarvan. He does go into the Cataclysm, sucks in so many people, but the rest of USG is stuck inside the Baron pit. Oppamen does not have his ultimate anymore, but the explosive cask, and once again, an arrow going wide. Neo is going to go into Atyamomo, getting a lot of armor shred onto him, but he's stuck in the
Oh, that is
ultimate from Anivia. But the shockwave coming out, hitting every single member of Rascal Jester. That's going to be the game, absolutely. Lobbies going down, Atyamomo being the only member left on the team, and that was a beautiful ultimate. And mine is really showing what his build is designed to do. It's designed to team fight and team fight well. And with the death timer still on the team, a full minion wave coming in for Unsold Stuff Gaming, that is going to be them tying up the series 1-1 versus Rascal Jester. We'll be going to game 3 very soon, and wow, what an explosive end to the game.
Yeah, I mean that was really all about Remind right there with that incredible shockwave. The wall from Lavi was actually pretty nice, like it cut off the Lee Sin from the team, but I mean it didn't really matter. They couldn't kill him fast enough. They just didn't have enough damage on their team. He was too tanky, and they were able to follow up.
Yeah, and this is, we still see Rascal Jester. I think they're mostly satisfied with the way they've played this series so far. There is still another game for them to play, but they've already taken as many games off of what are in theory the top 3 teams as they did the entirety of the last split. And if they can just get one more, they'll double that number. But let's take another look at this fight once again. Oppamen goes in, prevents Wyvern from getting anywhere close to the Baron to smite it. And then we just see, well, again, arrows missing, but here we go. Watch his ball placement. Right now it's currently on Neo. Neo goes in from the explosive cask. He moves it just a little bit and sucks in everyone but Atyamomo, and that's going to be all you need. You have enough dive potential, enough chase, and a triple kill going over to Remind.
Well, that was a pretty good game. I wonder what we're gonna see for game 3. I still give it to USG in the end. But the games were a lot closer than I thought they'd be. Even that second game was closer than I thought it would be. The gold lead spoke really highly of USG, but there was a little bit of give and take. It could have been anyone's game up until the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to take a break as well for just a couple of minutes. We'll see you soon as we get into Game 3 of Unsold Stuff Gaming taking on Rascal Jester. See you soon.